Hey, what's going on, YouTube? I'm back with another episode of Sports Picks with Big Zay. I'm gonna go ahead and give you my whole baseball slate for Monday, August 1st, 2022. Now, I hope everybody had a fabulous July. I hope everybody's pockets is more fat. I pray that everybody hit their bets in July, you know what I'm saying? And I hope everybody had a good time gambling in July. This is a new month, August, and if you didn't have a good time in July, don't even sweat it. We're going to hit the books hard on August. I'm not going to talk too much. I'm going to go ahead and get in it. We got the Reds versus the Marlins. We got Hunter Green versus Jesus Luzardo. And we got two very young pitchers on the mound, two very unexperienced pitchers on the mound. And in Hunter Green's time with the Reds, he's pitched 19 games this season and only won 4 of them 19s. He's still a rookie. This is his first year with the Reds. So, at 19 games, he's only won 4 of them. And I know people probably don't want to back up the Reds right here, but, Jesus Luzardo was looking pretty impressive. His ERA is a lot lower than Hunter Green, but, he strained his left arm, and he is a lefty, and that has throwing arm, and that concerns me, having to sit 2 months in this MLB league that, once you sit and you get, you sit for a little bit, and I heard that he did good against the AAA. He if I'm not mistaken, he gave up 6 hits, 2 earned runs with 4 walks, but this ain't the Reds lineup. This is a Reds lineup that's crushing lefties. And although Hunter Green has only won 4 out of his 19, his last time with the Marlins, he gave up 9 hits, but he only gave up 2 earned runs and 1 walk. When that resulted in a Reds loss to the Marlins 2-1. So, and that was against Pablo Lopez, one of Marlins' better pitchers. This is, and the Reds don't hit righties as well as they do lefties. So I feel like the Reds can put up more than one run in this game. I feel like Hunter Green, keeps the Marlins to a minimum, especially with Chris Holm Jr. out. I've been mentioning Marlins injuries over and over again. This is not a team I want to back when the offensive power is limited. So I think the best bet in this game, I'm gonna take the Reds on the money line. I know Hunter Green only won 4 games, but I think the Reds offense backs him up here. I'm gonna take the Reds on the money line in game 1. In game 2, we got the Mets at the Nationals. We got Max Serger against Patrick Corbin. And if y'all look at Patrick Corbin for the whole year, this is a guy I cannot back. He got a 4-14 record, an ERA of 6.49. And, he's played the Mets 3 times. And all 3 times when he's played the Mets have covered the run line. I don't see any difference here. Going against Max Scherzer, 2.09 ERA, 0.90 whip, one of the top pitchers in the league. When the Mets is starting to hit lefties a little better, OPS in the last 30 days against lefties, they're .739. So they're starting to come through against lefties better. And Patrick Corbin, this is a guy I just cannot back up. The Nationals got shut out last night, 5-0 loss. I don't see him bouncing back against Max Scherzer. I got the Mets negative 1.5, and that's my pick in this game. Now, the next game, we got the Mariners at the Yankees. We got Marco Gonzalez at Domingo German. And, one thing about it is Domingo German does not have that many innings played this year, and, man, the Mariners do not hit righties as good as they do lefties. The OPS in the last 30 days against lefties is .809 versus righties .665. So, they're hitting righties, at a mediocre rate, at an okay rate, but, they're kind of struggling against righties compared to lefties. And even though Domingo German doesn't give up a lot of hits against teams like the Astros, the Astros just hit righties way better than the Mariners, and the Yankees got as far as OPS in the last 30 days against lefties, Yankees is number 1. Nobody's hitting lefties like the Yankees. I feel like Marco Gonzalez is in a bad spot, having to pitch against the Astros and not having to pitch against the Yankees. I don't really like their chances against the Yankees. I know Mariners have been real hot. And even though the Yankees lost last night, I did not back up Montgomery. I had the over in that game, and that was the better bet in that game for that over cash. So, I think Domingo German might give a few runs to the Mariners, but I think he can keep their offense at a limit. And, with Yankees blasting lefties, I just don't see Mariners' chance. Yankees at a good price, negative 178. I can't pass that up. I'm going to take the Yankees at negative 178, and that's going to be my free pick in that game. Now, the next game, we got the Diamondbacks against the Guardians. We got Zach Davies against Cal Cuentro. And Zach Davies hasn't pitched for about a month now. He's been hurt. But before that, he was 2-4 with a 3.94 ERA. The only thing I don't like is his road. He does not pitch well on the road. He is 2-7 on the road when he has pitched. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about Cal Cuentro is, he's won his last 3 home games, but in his last 10 home games, the under has hit 2 times. So, that's big coming against the Guardians that's just crushing righties. Their OPS is one of the better percentile in the league when it comes to the MLB. When Zach Davies coming off an injury, going to have to play against a team like the Guardians that's just crushing righties right now. I really don't like their chance. I think, I'm leaning towards the Guardians, but at the price that the Guardians at, I think the better price will be the over 8.5. The last 10 home games that Cal Cuentro has pitched, 8 of them have gone over. The only 2 of them have gone under. I don't see what's the difference here. Diamondbacks also hit righties good. I can see Cal Cuentro giving up a couple runs to the Diamondbacks, saying that the Braves just shut them out in a 1-0 loss. I can see them trying to bounce back, but I think the best bet in this game is the over 8.5, and I'm leaning for the Guardians money line, but for the price, I think the best bet for this game is over 8.5. Now, the next game, we got the Tigers at the Twins, and the Twins don't have a lineup right now. The Twins don't have the pitcher. This is a real unfamiliar game right now, but one thing we do know is Tariq Scober's on the line. He's going to be on the mound for the Tigers, and that's the Tigers' ace. He's a left-handed pitcher, but only thing is Twins hit lefties better than they do righties. I think he can give up a few earned runs. This Twins lineup will give you hell if you let them, And this Tigers lineup, they've been coming to life these past few games, this past few months. They've been coming to life, but as far as offensive power, I just don't think their lineup can compete with the Twins. The Twins put up a lot of runs, and I know I don't see who the Twins is pitching, but last time Tariq Scober played the Twins, he gave up 7 hits and 5 earned runs and a loss. I'm pretty sure it was like a 7-1. It was a blowout loss. Twins covered a 1.5. Now, I'm not going to take the 1.5. I'm just going to take the money line to be safe, but I feel like Twins can get the Scoble. They hit lefties way better than they do righties. I got the Twins on a money line, and that's going to be my pick in that game. Even though I don't know the Twins pitcher, if I knew the Twins pitcher, I could probably give you a little better information. But with me having Tariq Scober on the mound, I got to take the Twins on the money line. Now, we got the next game. We got Red Sox at the Astros. We got Nathan Eovaldi at Luis Garcia. You know what I'm saying? And we got 2 pitchers that, is pretty solid for the season. Nathan Eovaldi, he was solid, but, there's been some games where I have not been proud of him. You seen that game where they lost to the Blue Jays 28-5, and even with that loss, he still got a 4.43 ERA for the season. Astros with Luis Garcia, his ERA is 3.81, and I just can't back Eovaldi after seeing some starts where he just cannot get these runners out. You see games where he pitches 1, 2, 3 innings in the beginning, and he already gives up 5, 6, 7 home runs, 2, 3, 4 homers in the early going, and you can't give his Astros lineup. You cannot give them home runs. It's different getting base hits. You cannot give them home runs. If you let them get what they want, they will run base all over you, home run after home run. They will run up the score. In this game, man, I just got to take the Astros on the money line at -188. That's a hell of a price. I don't see why Astros is at -250 right now. Last time Eovaldi played the Astros, he only pitched 1 inning. He gave up 8 hits, 9 runs, and 5 home runs. They had to relieve him quick. He couldn't get this lineup out for nothing. I don't see any difference. Luis Garcia is a solid pitcher. He might not be the best, but he's pretty solid. And Red Sox got a few injuries, even though they came off that win last night. I don't, this is a hard Astros lineup, especially at home. They play really well at home. I'm going to take the Astros on the money line. Now, next game, we got Orioles at the Rangers. We got Spencer Watkins at John Gray. And, these are two nice, solid pitchers. You got Spencer Watkins, 3-1, 4.03 ERA. And John Gray, on the other hand, 7-5. 3.62 ERA. But one thing I've seen is when John Gray's on the mound at home, he just pitches well and Rangers back him up. He is 4-5 in his home games, and his last two, he's pitched 12 innings and only gave up 3 runs at home. And, Spencer Watkins, he got a nice little 4.03 ERA. But he's 3-1 on the season, and, but he's 3-3 on the road. There's time I've seen on the road where he's only give up a few hits, but, the Orioles bullpen has let him down in a few games. And one game in particular that I like that is the last game against the Rays. Even though Orioles got that win 5-3 against Shane McClanahan, that surprised me. I had the Rays in that game, but he gave up 10 hits to this Rays offense and only 3 earned runs and 1 home run. That's the most hits he's gave all season. You just can't give his Rangers hits like that. If he has another game like last game and you give 10 hits to the Rangers, the Rangers will kill you, and at the beginning of the season they was hitting lefties way better than they do righties, but they're starting to come alive against righties. The OPS the last 30 days is .720, which is not far off the Orioles at .729. So as far as OPS, they're about dead even. I like the Rangers at home, the home field advantage. I don't like the Rangers bullpen. I think there's a chance Orioles could come back in the end. I think they get the Watkins early. I'm going to take Rangers in the first 5 innings, and that's going to be my best bet for that game. Now, next game, we got Royals at the White Sox. We got Brad Keller at Michael Kopech. Now, this is a game where I know a lot of people might take the White Sox right here. Now, bear with me. I really like Michael Kopech, but he has not pitched well at home this season. He is 3-7 at home, and Brad Keller, although he hasn't pitched good this season either against the White Sox, he's really pitched some shutout baseball against the White Sox. He has faced this White Sox lineup multiple times. He's pitched 14 innings. He's only gave up 4 earned runs and 1 home run. So, I think he can keep the White Sox offense at a minimum. And if the Royals can hang into after extra innings and the offense can come alive, I can see them hanging in this game, if not win this game. But I'm going to take the Royals plus 1.5 just to be safe. I think on the mound, Brad Keller is a better option. He knows his White Sox lineup a little better than Michael Kopech knows the Royals. So for this game, and I might get a lot of judgment, but I'm going to go ahead and take the Royals plus 1.5 and take the underdog. Next game, we see Rockies versus Padres. You got Antonio Santella versus Mike Clevinger. And, Antonio's Santella, he got a 4.90 ERA, and he hasn't pitched too well for the season. There's been games where he's pitched strong, but he hasn't pitched too well for the season. But one thing about it is, he's pitched pretty well against this Padres lineup. You see, the last time he played the Padres, he pitched 6 innings. He gave up 6 hits, 1 earned run, and 1 home run in that game. That's pretty good, and he got the win in that game. Versus Mike Clevinger, on the other hand, 3.38 ERA. He has a better ERA for the season, but don't let that fool you. One thing about it is he hasn't pitched good against this Rockies lineup. You see, he's only pitched 7 innings against this Rockies lineup. He gave up 6 earned runs and 1 home run, and he lost both of them games. And one game they took him out early innings because the Rockies got to him within the first 2 innings. So for this game, for the Padres to, be slight favorites, I can see why, because they're the home team. But Mike Clevinger is 0-2 against the Rockies. And until he lets me know otherwise, I just cannot back him up. I cannot take him. I'm taking the Rockies plus 1.5. I think Antonio Santella can keep this game close. I like the Rockies' chances right here. I'm going to take the Rockies plus 1.5 at -120. That's a hell of a price. You can't get a better price than that. I got to take the Rockies plus 1.5. Now, the next game, you got Dodgers at the Giants. And I'm pretty sure this is the last game. So before I get in this game, I just want to say, if you watch this video, man, I really appreciate it. I wish everybody nothing but blessings. I hope everybody hits their parlays today. I really like this slip, man, And if you got any slips that you like, if you got any bets that you like, go ahead and put them in the comments. Let me hear them. I'll talk with y'all. I'm up for knowledge too. I know a lot of people are knowledgeable in this world, especially when it comes to gambling. So I just wish everybody the best. And I'm going to go ahead and get in this last game. We got the Dodgers at the Giants. This is probably the best game out of all the games today. We got Andrew Heaney at Logan Webb. And the thing about Andrew Heaney is he's only pitched 19 innings, and he got a lot of strikeouts. He only got 1 home run. But I feel like he's due for a little bit of regression, especially against this Giants lineups that's crushing lefties. When it comes to right hand pitches, the Giants just cannot hit right hand pitches. They top if I'm not mistaken, I think they're 24th or 25th OPS against righties in the last 30 days. That's not going to cut it. But when it comes to lefties at .831, they're almost hitting lefties as well as the Dodgers are hitting righties in the last 30 days. The OPS is not that far apart. And Logan Webb, even though that they lost last time he was on the mound against his Dodgers, he lost 5-1. He pitched 6 innings and he only gave up 1 hit. He pitched 6 innings, he gave up 5 hits, and he only gave up 1 run in that game. And that's really good, playing a Dodgers lineup that's crushing righties right now. And Logan Webb has some experience. He got a lot more experience than Andrew Heaney. I feel like Giants can keep it close. I'm not going to take Giants on the money line. I'm going to take Giants +1.5 just to be safe. But if Logan Webb has another outing like that and his bullpen does not give up them extra runs to the Dodgers, I think Giants can get to Heaney. Last time 5-1, I feel like Giants scored way more runs than 1 this time, especially with a left hand as Andrew Heaney, who done gave up, some runs to the Astros, some runs to teams that don't hit lefties as well as the Giants. So this game, I'm going to take the Giants +1.5. And that's my whole baseball slate. This has been Sports Picks with Big Zay. I appreciate everybody that watched this video, man. Everybody like, everybody subscribe. We're going to get back to it tomorrow. I wish everybody a happy August, new month. Let's hit the books hard this month, baby. I'm on it. This is Big Zay, and I'm out.